Hi guys! Welcome to Advanced Weekly Update. Gabe is back with us this week. Hi Gabe.
Hello everyone, it's great to be here. Happy middle of the week.
Yeah, it feels good to start the work week on a Wednesday, right?
Yeah, can't we start the work week on a Wednesday every week?
Let's do it.
Great
idea. Alright. Well, speaking of going places, we're talking about travel this week, and maybe you've already read our article because it was actually on Monday and Tuesday while you were enjoying your holiday time. Maybe you had a few minutes to read Lifting Off in Luxury, and Gabe, they talk about private air travel.
Yeah.
Now, to me, it sounds pretty expensive, of course, but who doesn't want to travel on this way?
Well, yeah, if you can afford it.
Of course, if money is not part of the equation.
Yeah, so you're talking about like having a private jet? Like
okay. So this particular one is not like just you have a private jet, it's like private air travel. So you can buy a ticket still, and there are different people that you don't know on the plane and stuff, but it's luxury travel.
Oh, so like sitting in first class?
Yeah, it's kind of like the whole plane is first class.
The whole plane is first class.
There's no security checks, apparently.
No security checks.
That's what it says right here. They skip the airline. They skip the security lines. So no security lines.
Oh, that's nice.
So I don't know if they still do some sort of security, but it's quick, at least.
And you still have good in-flight service, that kind of thing?
Sure. Probably real silverware.
Well, sign me up. I'm all about that real silverware, Brandon. And a nice steak.
A steak,
yeah.
Maybe, that would be good. I'm sure it's great, but it is expensive for most of us. We can't maybe afford that, but it does bring us to our poll for this week. We do want to ask you about your preferred method of travel. What is your preferred way to travel? Do you like to travel by airplane, by car, by train, by bus? Let us know in our poll that's up right now. How about you, Gabe? Do you have a preference?
Man, after you have a car, it's hard to go any other way. Or after you have a scooter, actually I have a scooter, so if it's a close distance, if it's not too far, like from my home to work, man, I love taking my scooter. Because the MRT is still, like a 10-minute walk from my house. And when I lived a little further away, I didn't mind taking the MRT. I had to take a bus to the MRT station and then another bus to work. Mm-hmm. And I mean, it was kind of fun just seeing different kinds of people on these.
Yeah, I guess it really obviously depends on what you're doing, right?
Yeah.
I think a car just opens things up, right? You can feel that you're a bit more, traveling a bit more safely than a scooter, but a scooter will get you from A to B really quickly, so it really depends on what you're doing.
And that's why I mentioned a car at first, because, my wife and I have a car, and if you want to go to some of those hard to reach places, mm-hmm. or places that are not within a city, but they're kind of on the outskirts of the city, a lot of places don't have a public bus that goes to those those spots, so it's just great to have a car.
I tell you what, Gabe, I appreciate not having to have a car, like not needing a car here in Taipei, because the transportation is so great. Like you can take the MRT, you can take an Uber, you can bike. Things are easily reachable, so I enjoy not having to drive every day. But it would be nice to have a car sometimes.
Biking is another great thing, about living in a city like this with all the U-bikes around, right?
So convenient, right? We didn't put that on there, but you can type that in the comments if you'd prefer a bike.
Yeah, we should take advantage of that more, mm-hmm. especially to help cut down the carbon footprint while you're in a city. What about traveling between cities, Brandon? Like if you have the options now to take the train, a bus, or the high-speed rail.
Okay, that's it. Right there, you just said it.
Or a taxi if you need to go from Taipei to the airport.
Absolutely, hands down is the high-speed rail. If I'm going for any distance at all, mm-hmm. The high-speed rail is so fast, it's spacious. I'm a big fan.
So you're a big fan of the high-speed rail. I gotta tell you, my parents used to live in Taichung, and so I would travel to see them every once in a while. Mm-hmm. And before the high-speed rail was even built, I went by bus, either Guoguanghao or U-bus or something like that. And I gotta say, even after the high-speed rail was built, I still prefer to travel by bus. If I have to take one of those two and not drive a car, I would still prefer to go by bus because.
Why?
Because you have more time to actually sleep and rest on the bus. The high-speed rail, the lights are always on, but they usually turn the bus lights down, they dim the lights down. You can be on there for longer. So
they have like speakers in the seats or something? That is cool.
Now there's all these luxuries on the bus, like speakers in the seats, a little USB you can plug into. Some of them provide, drinks like tea or water or something.
So you're all about the journey.
Well, I just think that I want to relax on the HSR, but it gets me from point A to point B too quickly, and so I can't actually relax. So I just love the bus.
All right, that makes sense. I think it depends on what you're wanting to do. If you're more about the journey, then hey, the bus. And sometimes airplanes are like that. I've been on some flights where I'm like, man, I don't want to land yet. Yeah. Maybe it's like a 2-hour flight, and I want it to be like 4 hours so I can enjoy this flight more. That's rare now. Like I'm not in that boat anymore, or on that plane when you can change the idiom. But anyway, so. I want to ask you, Gabe, and this is going to bring us to our question of the week. We're going to talk about pros and cons.
Okay.
Pros and cons of air travel. What are the pros and cons for you when it comes to flying on an airplane?
I mean, the cons I could think of is mainly price.
Okay.
Right? But then again, you have to take a flight when you're going to certain places, like overseas. Mm-hmm. I guess you could take a boat, but... if
you're all about the journey,
I mean, I do take a boat to places like the Lanyu.
Oh, that's rough. There's some rough waters. If the waters are choppy, be sure to take that seasick pill. Right?
Yeah, the motion sickness pills.
Yeah.
But I mean, taking an airplane, I have nothing negative to say about taking an airplane.
Really?
Yeah. Like, I mean, I don't like the how close the seats are to each other.
All right. You like the food?
Yeah, the food's okay. I'm not paying for the food when I'm on a flight. So, and I rarely pay for. Actually, I've never paid for first class.
Well, you paid for it, but you didn't pay extra.
Yeah, but from what I understand, from what people in the airlines have told me, is they really do cater to people in first class and business class, because those are the people who are actually paying more money for good services. And so, like, if they're happy, then everybody else on board, everybody who works on board is happy, and they kind of. Don't really care about. So
that's why sometimes you get that not so nice flight attendant.
Exactly, because they're like, well, you didn't really pay that much to be on this flight, so.
Man.
But
I gotta upgrade, I guess.
I gotta say, most people I have met on a flight, like the in-flight attendants, are very nice.
Yeah, most of them are.
They get great service.
Right, that's true.
Yeah.
So no cons, just pros.
I mean, yeah, I can't think of anything really negative. Like I'm not scared of flying. I don't. I know some people are scared of like takeoff and landing and things like that. But
I get kind of scared when there's turbulence because I'm like, it feels like the plane's going to go down. Thank God it doesn't. But so that is one part that's kind of rough sometimes.
Yeah. I like those pirate ships at amusement parks though. The feeling you get when you're at the up top and going down. And so
it's coming.
But I also kind of like, because it's a similar feeling when there's turbulence, it takes you from here down like 100 meters suddenly.
Or those that like drop and then stop. Those are so troubling. All right, we have some people writing in here. Let's see what we have here. Oh, we have 42% say train, 28% car, 14% airplane, and 14% bus. All right. A lot of people are wanting to get on a train, and Alan is writing in, saying he listened to the radio program, and Doris seemed excited about the idea of private or charter flights. And Alan, you say that your preferred method of traveling is train, and that you enjoy a stable ride with scenery passing by. Oh, that's true, Alan. Like, you're on the train and you can just sit back and enjoy the scenery. That's nice.
The nice thing about being on a train is that often it's kind of outside the city a little bit, right? So you can see that kind of scenery.
Yeah.
Whereas on a bus, you're going down the freeway and the scenery you have is the road. That's not usually as nice as a train.
Absolutely.
Yeah. A lot of people like trains. That's great.
Yeah, so hope you're able to get out and about if you have the chance. Just, wear your mask and be safe.
But do people feel the same way about trains if they can't get a ticket for a seat? Do you know what I mean? There's a difference if you can actually sit, and then maybe you have to take a long 5 or 6 hour train ride, but you have to stand the whole way.
I think that would change things. That would change things for me. I've had to do that. That's not as fun. Definitely gonna want to have that seat, right?
Yeah.
All right, well, guys, we're almost out of time. Thank you, Gabe, for joining us. David will be back next week. He's still enjoying his honeymoon. Congratulations, David.
That guy. What's he doing on his honeymoon anyway?
I know, right? Imagine that.
Got a lot of questions for him.
All right.
He's going to have to share all about that.
Absolutely. We can ask him about that next week.
Prepare your questions for him.
And in the meantime, don't forget our hot topics in the news if you haven't checked that out. Right there on page 7 in your magazine. Scan the QR code to watch the videos accompanying that. In April, we just have one. In May, we'll have more. So check that out this month in your April edition of Advanced Magazine. Gabe, thanks for joining us.
Yeah, it's been great.
Thank all of you for joining us as well. We'll see you next time here on Advanced Weekly Update next Monday at 1 o'clock. We'll be back live. See you guys.